Well, a little update on the standard Quorn tool and cutter grinder. I have been working on some guards for this, and I think I'd showed them to you before. I'd 3D printed a wheel guard, and it's basically for my dish wheel. Now, I printed up a pattern. Actually, I printed two patterns. This is one I actually had on the machine just to see how well it was going to fit. And I printed up two more of these. One of them, well, both of them did not have this cutout in here, and one of them's deeper. I think I explained that before for the cup wheel. But anyway, these will fit in here. Very similar to that right there. So I did get those cast up, or I got one of them cast up, which is this one right here. I've already bored out the inside of it, and nothing spectacular here, just a little more progress. I'm going to take it off from this setup and go ahead and set it on the angle plate, and we're going to face off, I believe it's this side. No, it'll be this side for the bolt to set up against. And in that same setting, we'll face that off, we'll drill it down through for our lock bolt to go through, and then we'll split it here. And after we get that done, then we'll bring it back over, set it up very much in this orientation, and we're going to slit our clamp slot there so that it can pinch on the spindle of the Quorn. And then the only thing left other than just finish is we've got to cut the cutout on the other side back here to give us room to work on the cutter head. So we'll just break down this setup very quickly. Partially, we can use the same basic setup for on the table. Yeah, I thought I felt one little inclusion on the inside of this casting. Let's see if we can see in the bore. Yeah, you can see that little inclusion in there. Otherwise, it looks like a good solid casting. It machined very nicely. I didn't run across any voids or anything, so I'm very happy with the quality and density of that casting. So, you know, we've got some surface imperfections, but that's just a casting the way it was rammed in the sand. So you can actually see the 3D printed marks here on it, on the edge of it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead, set our angle plate up, and we're going to mount it in this orientation right here so that we can face the top, spot that off, which this is actually the bottom side. Like I say, the bolt will go through from the bottom, and that'll be machined so that it can't rotate. That bolt head will be captive on there. And then, like I say, same setup, we'll drill it through, and then we'll slit it. This is a pretty precarious setup, but all we've got to do is drill one hole, cut our slot, and then flatten off that top so that it'll retain our bolt. And the first thing we're going to do is figure out where we're going to drill it. We're going to drill it all the way through, and then we'll cut a little flat so that our bolt can't turn, and we'll take a slitting saw and just slit it right across there. I don't have a real good angle to set the camera up and be able to operate the machine too. So for me, the machining operation is more important than the video at this point in time. So we'll get this done, and then we'll come back for the next setup. Okay, well, we've got our slot cut, we're drilled, we've got our little place on the back. Hopefully I've got that in the right place. I'm not sure once I get the slot machine. Now I'm going to machine the slot across here. So all I got left is to machine this slot, you know, back into this so we can pinch it onto the spindle, and then we'll turn it around and cut out the cutout for where we're going to work through the wheel on the grinder. So I'm short on slitting saws, but what I did find in my little collection is my small trim circular saw, or skill saw. So we just adapted one of our arbors we already had. We just cut a little shoulder to match the arbor. We're going to mount it up here and see if it'll cut it. So here was my setup for doing the cutout that goes on the front of the wheel where you're working at it. I just clamped it back in the same way I clamped it to the table before. I was originally going to set the boring head up to cut this cutout and everything. Hole saw works just perfect. Got a real nice cut on it. Dull hole saw. And we are done other than to do final fitting, clean it up, and then just powder coat it probably. That's what we'll do. Here's our cutouts for the back. So we got a little more fitting to do. I don't have the right screw to go in it yet. But there's our hole saw cutout. And that's going to work out well. Let me blow it off and clean it up, and we'll go back over the bench and take a look at it a little bit closer. Alright, well, as I said before, I've got to find the proper bolt, and this one's got to be shortened up so it won't do everything it's supposed to be doing, but that sits in there just like so. That sits in there just like that, and it'll mount on the Quorn this way. We have a spacer that goes on, and then one of our nifty little ball handles. And of course, when you did build your Quorn, you built extra ball handles, so you've got these. This is too long. But the way this will go on is just like that. And you'll tighten it down with the ball handle in whatever position, and it'll rotate through just like it'll be indexed up so it's out of the way. You can adjust this wherever you want. Your wheel, and this is the primary wheel that I use, will sit in there just like that. So, like I say, we'll smooth this down a little bit, we'll clean it up a little bit more, and then I think we'll probably powder coat it gray, and then we'll be on to our end guard.